病気ではないと。うん。マジかよ。人によっては、挨拶されるだけで、その挨拶が共感覚によって、腐ったミルクのように感じると。最悪じゃん。おはようって聞いた瞬間に腐ったミルクを感じると。ひどいな、これは。
こばは。
こんばんは。ご機嫌いかが？Hey Otto. Good afternoon.
Good morning.
Good morning.
YOOO.
Hey David.
元気っす。嬉しいっす。カズさんは。
めちゃくちゃ元気だよ。Today I'm reading a book about
4まで
silliness.
は、
synesthesia. I don't know how to call this phenomena.ちょんまげは
Synesthesia.
synesthesia.
卒業したダブル。
うん。
I'm almost done with Sekiro. I'm on the last fight. I wanna get the achievement for fully upgrading everything, but it'll take hours.
Good luck. History of coffee. Okay. Oh no, I'm not professional about coffee bean, bro.
昨日、コーヒーは苦いでしたダブル。
コーヒー、コーヒーは苦かったです。not 苦いでした。苦いでした is sound a bit odd. 苦かったです。past tense. でした also past tense, but in that case, 苦かったです。
苦かったです。
or
苦いコーヒーでした。たとえ、そのジョークが昨日の会話をそのままコピーしていたとしても、
もしこれがジョークだったらそれは大丈夫。
俺をつダブル。
Anyway, back to English.
sure.
こんにちは、指しり、ロル。
久しぶりな。何指絞りって。こんにちは。
How goes it?
not bad.
What are you working on today?
Today, first I have to practice my reading stuff. Then we can practice about my speaking. Then we can practice speaking.
I see, sounds good.
Or before that, before speaking exercise, I have to do listening exercise as well. Do, 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 do.
Do you want some tools on speed reading? I am unsure how advanced it'd.
No, at the moment. Also, right now I cannot think about other thing. I have to concentrate on my readings first. Sorry.
I read English at about 500 words per minute.
Damn. Then I show you my reading speed.
It used to be like average speed, but I always push myself past my limits with training.
This one. I found it. Coated with thin red fur film. Okay. What 21 is it? 21. Coating a white, sugary, what? White sugary flesh. 22. Inside. Pulp. They are seed. 2 beans. Okay. Kind of undergold. Cold. Seed. 23. Easy. Paragraph E, talking about the coffee plant.
That's pretty good speed, seems average to me.
Really?
Yay. A lot of natives aren't really FSST readers. Fast.
So paragraph F, talking about the climate, growing coffee. No, this one, climate for coffee. Next.
I think someone's read speed also affects how fast they read other languages too.
I can read very, very fast Japanese. textbooks, but not English. First.
I can actually read Japanese very fast, but I can't speak it fast.
Really? Interesting.
ブアブ、朝ごはん。
Enjoy a meal.
卵とパンです。
Nice. Ouch.
こんにちは。
こんにちは。Long time no see. お久しぶりです。元気
You ever gonna read that novel I wrote?
Not yet. I will read.
お久しぶりです。
How about today? お久しぶりです。元気でしたか？お元気でしたか？
I ain't got much feedback, so I feel pretty yatapid not knowing of it's good or not.
とても元気です。
Okay, okay. I will read. I will read. それは素晴らしいですね。
天気が暑すぎる。
こっちは涼しいよ。わかんないな。D は。D むずいな。
難しいのか？
難しい。
腹紙というゲームを知っていますか？
原神知ってるよ。原神インパクト。中国のすごい人気の MMORPG でしょ？知ってるよ。それがどうした？あ、僕やったことないよ。
やっていないの？
やってないね。 パラダックスさんはやったことある？ゲイシンインパクトは。
やったら共にやることができます。
やばいね。勉強できなくなるね。やめとくよ。絶対楽しいもん。
1日中いくつ勉強しているの？
一日中。もうずっとかな。ほぼ。
ずっと？マジで？ただいま、食べました。
おかえり。美味しかった？マジで。昨日なんて10時間勉強してたよ。
狙いは何ですか？
狙い。これよ。資格。英語の証明書が欲しいのよ。終わり。ダン。6.5 Not bad. いいね。あとちょっとで7じゃん。で、ここ全滅か。Memory decline function teacher limitation。ビンがあれだったな。簡単だったな。ビンはほとんど合ってた。
いいです。
ナイスー。ナイスナイ
お祝い。
ス。おー。ナイスー。いいね。3. E. Number 3. Number 3. 1. G なのなんでいいじゃないか。ふざけやがってこれ。TH 入れちゃダメなの。Why? ここ全滅しとるやん。8番から14番。8番やばいな。This question is tricky. Many people may choose true when they see the same information in paragraph B, but the word there are in the question is affirmation
日本ではエア
for
コ
the
ンを使う
information
ことが多
60
いです
different
か？
types, exactly 60. While the word at least is not exactly 60 types. Ah, okay. Interesting. Good to know. Alright. これは
Wait a second.
Hmm?
Can you show the explanation again?
Sure. Hey, Shusaiku. Good afternoon. What's up? 日本ではね、もうエアコン、夏にエアコンがな
At
いと
least
死んで
60
しまい
means
ます。
greater or equal 60. So it can be 60 or more and not less.
But according to this information,
Their
it-
explanation is wrong, LMAO.
no, I think they are correct. The question is this. Is this information true or not? Or not given?
It can be 60, 61,
And
62.
there are 60 different types. According to this text, there are 60 different types means
It can't be
exactly
58 or 59.
60. It's not like can be 60 or 61 or 2. There's no possibility for other numbers. They are saying exact numbers here, but I
Yeah,
said
false
true.
is correct.
False. So false is correct. My answer is wrong. My answer is true here.
But their explanation is wrong.
Is it? At least is not exactly 60. Can be 80, 58.
At least.
But isn't at least means... Isn't at least means...
I disagree.
え at least 最低でしょ最低60ってことは Yeah, 58 is wrong. Must be more than 60. Least is the least number. So can be 61, 60. As you said, can be 61,
There isn't
62.
exact.
アトレアスと、イカ。
だよね At least. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, wrong explanation. They should be used not at least instead of
No.
maximum. Up to. They should use up to, not at least.
At
Up
most.
to. At most or up to or 以上.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah. Can be happen.
Also SRY Heim lady.
It's okay. Hello. What's up? Blindfolded means blind. What? You can't see.
I am on my phone, I can't read the example.
No, my bad. The letter is too small.
Blinded by something, usually some type of cloth.
Ah. Physically.
Blindfolder.
Two not givens. Lots of celebrities are affected by synesthesia. Synesthesia.
Shusaiku, what's your native language? German.
Lots of celebrities.
It's fine if you are right or wrong, we'll fix it later.
I'm weak against these kind of questions. Like, I have to give true or false or
Shosaiko, how many languages do you
givens.
know?
I'm very weak. As you see, I'm making lots of mistake in these sections.
But for the last 7 years I mostly consumed English media. So now I usually speak a mix of German and English when talking in German, English, and some Japanese.
To understand which one is the correct paragraph is fine. I can feel it, but these questions are very
That's
tricky.
great.
The last one is true. Most scientists believe that synesthesia runs in families. What? Considered to be
Some Japanese. Aren't you far more advanced than Mr.
Hereditary.
Shosaiko, lol?
hereditary condition, and the findings suggested that
I am probably N3 level RN.
Synesthetes.
Working towards N2.
Synesthetes.
Yeah, I am only N5.
Synesthetes.
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 Yeah, DW, you'll get there, Billy approve.
Synesthetes.
I took N3 exam in December and failed only for 1 point.
Damn. This time I need at least 5.5. And I am
Why
aiming
does this
to
sound like penis dive / joke?
6.5. And here I banned
My final
6.5
last year was supposed to
because
be around N3 level and I barely passed.
part 2 was too easy. I feel the coffee, and now this part was too easy to answer. Was too easy, way too easy. Coffee bean.
Easy Shosaiko, just more kanji.
I only made 2 wrong answers in this section. Anyway, move to listening practice.
Will you take the exam on July 7th?
I going to.
Nah.
I have exam. I have my English
will.
exam in next month,
GL with that.
20th.
Rage.
You will. Good luck. Parallax. N3 you going to do?
Section 1.
I am debating on trying for N2
You will hear
next
2
year.
flatmates,
But
Tom
only
and
if I am
Richard,
confident I'll be
talking
able to
about
pass
their
by
new
then.
flatmate who has
Good
just
luck,
moved
Shosaiko.
in the week before. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 6.
Behavior
No,
is a
Shosaiko, skip
friend.
to N1.
Other.
Hell no.
You will see that there is
FCKN1.
an example that has been done for you. On this occasion
That
only,
shit is way
the
too
conversation
difficult.
relating to this will be played
Ain't ever
first.
gonna do that, LMAO.
Hi, Richard. I'm glad I caught you here. Can I just talk to you about
Shosaiko
something?
LMAO.
Our new flatmate, Anders, is not quite what I had hoped. I was wondering if you shared my concerns about some of his behaviour.
The new tenant's name is Anders, so Anders has been written in the space. Now we shall begin. You should answer the
I
questions
don't
as you
think I
listen,
speak any language
because
at
you
such
will
a
not
high
hear the
level
recording a
KEKW.
second time. Now listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 6.
Hi, Richard. I'm glad I caught you here. Can I just talk to you about something? Our new flatmate, Anders, is not quite what I had hoped. I was
Maybe
wondering
I
if
would
you
pass
shared
in
my
German,
concerns about some of his
but probably
behaviour.
with quite some mistakes.
Yes, Tom, I know what you mean, but we can't be entirely negative. He has good points. I mean, at least he's quiet. He doesn't play loud music all night or bother others
I'm
or
going to
turn his TV
mute
up, disturbing
my
everyone.
TTS at the
Sure,
moment.
he's quiet. But remember our last flatmate? He'd say hi to you and smile and treat everyone politely. In comparison, this new guy is very impolite. He just grunts in reply and sometimes ignores.
Right now I'm going to move my listening practice. To do that, I'm going to close my TTS. Start.
Section 1. You will hear two flatmates, Tom and Richard, talking about their new flatmate who has just moved in the week before. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 6. You will see that there is an example that has been done for you. On this occasion only, the conversation relating to this will be played first.
Hi, Richard. I'm glad I caught you here. Can I just talk to you about something? Our new flatmate, Anders, is not quite what I had hoped. I was wondering if you shared my concerns about some of his behaviour.
The new tenant's name is Anders, so Anders has been written in the space. Now we shall begin. You should answer the questions as you listen, because you will not hear the recording a second time. Now listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 6.
Hi, Richard. I'm glad I caught you here. Can I just talk to you about something? Our new flatmate, Anders, is not quite what I had hoped. I was wondering if you shared my concerns about some of his behaviour.
Yes, Tom, I know what you mean, but we can't be entirely negative. He has good points. I mean, at least he's quiet. He doesn't play loud music all night or bother others or turn his TV up, disturbing everyone.
Sure, he's quiet. But remember our last flatmate? He'd say hi to you and smile and treat everyone politely. In comparison, this new guy is very impolite. He just grunts in reply and sometimes ignores me altogether.
I guess that's just his way. You know, just his character. I don't think he realises he's being impolite, and it shouldn't matter to us too much. We can just ignore him too and quietly live our own lives.
But his friends are hard to ignore when they visit.
I know what you mean, but how often does that happen? I rarely see them, maybe once or twice a month. If they came more often, it might be a problem, but as it is, such rare visits don't matter so much. Wouldn't you say so?
Well, I'm not sure, since it's very obvious when they're here because of all the cigarette smoke in the house. It stinks up the place, and you know we don't allow smoking on the premises.
Well, I've never seen them doing this. Maybe they do it outside. Perhaps we can talk to Anders about it. Always remember, though, in one respect, he's a good tenant, and it's the most important aspect. The previous flatmate would always pay the rent late.
I know what you're going to say. This guy pays promptly. But there's more to being a good tenant than prompt payment. I mean, you need to turn off the TV, clean up your dishes, dress respectably, be polite, and so on. I guess what I'm saying is that basically you need to cooperate with the others, and this new guy fails significantly in this respect.
Okay, I suppose you have a point there.
Before you hear the rest of the conversation, you have some time to look at questions 7 to 10. Now listen and answer questions 7 to 10.
I tell you what, Tom, why don't we talk to our new flatmate, Anders, about these issues? If we throw him out, we'll have to go to all the trouble of finding another flatmate who might not necessarily be much better. So, let's give the current guy a chance. Here, I've got a piece of paper, so let's make a short list of issues to discuss with him. Get it out into the open.
Sure, we'll give him one more chance. So write communication, and let's tell him to...
Well, we can't change a person's personality overnight. So why don't we have a weekly tenants meeting, and we can just ask him to attend. That way we can get to know him better. I'll write attend meeting and we can take it from there.
OK, but we have to tell him about his friends. They can't just do whatever they want. Write a heading friends and then write don't smoke anywhere, inside or outside.
Well, instead of being so direct and possibly causing offence, I'll just write follow rules and verbally mention the rules. TV off by 10 p.m, no loud music or bad behaviour, including smoking.
OK, do that, but I still think we need to specifically mention that last issue. You know how I can't stand the habit, so I'd like this to be another and separate point. Cigarettes, strictly forbidden. And it's important to include the strictly here. We can't pussyfoot around too much. Sometimes directness is necessary.
OK, I'll write that. Forbidden. OK. And what about cleaning duties? Anders is a little too relaxed about that. Dishes are sometimes not washed, dirty teacups are left around the place, and so on.
So, write, must do better.
Yeah, again, Tom, he might take that personally and it could cause a scene. I'd rather be general. I'll write must be done and I'll tell him that that's for everyone, not just him. OK?
OK, as long as he gets the message.
That is the end of section 1. You now have half a minute to check your answers. Now turn to section 2. Section 2. You will hear a first aid officer talking to a group of factory workers about emergency first aid. First, you have some time to look at questions 11 to 17. Now listen carefully and answer questions 11 to 17.
Hello everyone. Now, you know why I'm here. You all work in a factory, and in this environment, there always remains a significant possibility of accidents happening, in which case, first aid will be necessary. What is first aid? It is the provision of emergency on-site care when an injury occurs, and it is essential for everyone to know, if only simply, the steps which must be followed. There are, of course, minor injuries which may happen, not needing further medical care beyond the intervention of the first aider, but you can never be sure, thus the following steps must always be followed. These can be abbreviated to the words Dr. ABC, in other words, DRABC. The D stands for danger, and that's the first issue to keep in mind. When an accident happens, immediately ascertain that the environment is safe. That, for example, nothing else will fall or break or cause accidents. If you, the first aider, are also injured, the problem is even worse. The R stands for respond. You must then ascertain the best response. Once all the danger has been eliminated and the distress calls sent out, the appropriate action is, obviously, to help the injured party. All right, that leads to A, which stands for airway. In order to stay alive, all people need to have an open airway to allow breathing. A conscious person will automatically clear their own airway. But if unconscious, this may not happen. The brain is stopped or hindered from properly directing the body, and, obviously, in the worst case, death can result. For this reason, the injured person is normally put into the recovery position. Placed on the side, tilting the head back and ensuring that there are no blockages in the mouth. To free any such blockages, the back can be slapped or the chest compressed, allowing anything to be spat out. Now that the airway is free, check for B, or breathing. If breathing is not happening or is irregular, the first aider may have to assist with what is technically known as cardiopulmonary resuscitation, or more commonly, CPR. This involves breathing for the patient through mouth-to-mouth contact, while periodically massaging the heart through compressions to the chest. This combination allows blood and oxygen to flow around the body, keeping the patient alive, hopefully until medics, such as doctors, advanced first aiders or ambulance staff arrive.
Before you hear the rest of the talk, you have some time to look at questions 18 to 20. Now listen and answer questions 18 to 20.
Now, it's certainly good to have knowledge of emergency first aid, but, obviously, the best situation is simply not to have accidents occur in the first place. For that, you need to be aware of safety issues, but just saying "be aware" does not usually achieve much. It is more important to have an appointed person whose job is to ensure awareness and work safety. Safety inspections would obviously be part of their job, whereby they can make sure, for example, that the first aid boxes are fully equipped. Another idea is to put posters on the walls, but, interestingly, research has proven that these tend to be ignored, becoming just part of the wallpaper, seen but not put into practice. It is much better if everyone is just instilled to not be reckless, that is, to not rush into situations without thinking about the possibility of accidents. And instilling this mindset is part of the job of the safety officer. Some other suggestions are ongoing first aid training and no accident reward or star systems. These have had some success, but nothing beats a regular meeting, say once a month, in which the subject of safety is brought to the attention of everyone, and any outstanding issues related to this are thoroughly discussed.
That is the end of section 2. You now have half a minute to check your answers. Now turn to section 3. Section 3. You will hear two students, Frank and Nicole, discussing their research on university waste. First, you have some time to look at questions 21 to 25. Now listen carefully and answer questions 21 to 25.
Hi, Nicole. As you know, we've got to decide on the best ways this university can reduce its waste. You inspected the eastern campus and I did the western buildings. Did you do all the interviews as well?
Yes, I interviewed all the staff, who made some good observations, and I interviewed some of the students. The students said little that was interesting. They don't seem to care that much. It was the cleaners, surprisingly, who revealed the most relevant facts.
That's not surprising to me. They empty all the bins, so they see the waste firsthand, whereas the staff just throw things away without thinking. What item was most commonly disposed of?
Well, it really depended on where I interviewed. In the cafeteria precinct, obviously paper plates and cups were thrown away all over the place. There was almost no attempt at recycling. However, across the university in general, it was paper copying that filled up most bins, far more than plastic or other forms of waste.
Do people care about this, then?
Well, some do, if you can believe them. I must have interviewed about 30% of customers in the cafeteria, and the results were mixed. Out of all the people I interviewed, well over half, maybe about 55% of them, were quite honest about it, telling me that they had little concern. The other fraction, 45%, were more troubled.
Yes, but do they do anything about it?
Surprisingly, quite a significant percentage do something, even if they aren't particularly concerned. I mean, small things. About 10% bring their own cups to the cafeteria, for example, and at least 1/3 said they use recycling bins. So, in total, it's an equal split between those who do something or those who don't.
So why do so many people remain inactive, particularly over an issue they should care about more?
I think they do care, and many of them are prepared to do something. Obviously, there's an element of laziness, but I'd say that it's relatively small. If they knew what to do, and if stringent systems existed, or if the importance of this was made clearer to them, I'm sure you'd see a much larger percentage of people actively working towards helping our environment.
Well, there's cause for optimism at least.
Before you hear the rest of the conversation, you have some time to look at questions 26 to 30. Now listen and answer questions 26 to 30.
Clearly then, there's a significant waste of paper here at this university, so I've worked out one practical suggestion which could help reduce it, specifically the waste from the excess photocopying.
Let me hear it then.
Obviously, for a start, we've got to ensure that people, including the staff, without exception, copy both sides of a page. We can't tolerate single-sided copying. It's just far too wasteful.
Absolutely. Just more trees being chopped down.
But as people are doing copying, there may be adjustments and practice copying, producing single-sided copies or blank pages not wanted and not intended for use. These need to be deposited into a tray for intended recycling. You know, for recopying onto the blank side of the page.
But people don't usually do that. I'm afraid it's just human nature. No matter how unimportant the copying is, they prefer to use fresh paper.
Yeah, I agree with you, which is why you need to display these papers right in front of everyone with a clear sign, "Please reuse," to make it easy for them to do so.
They still won't do it.
I know. That's why you take some of these papers and regularly stack them inside the copier in a special tray once a day, say in the morning.
Well, that's getting better, making it easier for them to use the paper. But still, I'm afraid many won't.
That's why you allow everyone to select this tray when copying. You distribute numbers or codes to every person, giving them special access to this recycling tray. Every time they use papers from this, it's tallied up to their account.
I know I'm sounding a bit negative, or even cynical here, but why should they bother using that tray?
Because the person who does the most copying from this recycling tray gets, say, a cinema pass or lottery ticket or some other sort of reward.
Ah, right. Now that's a system which might just work. Let's trial it in the office and see what happens.
That is the end of section 3. You now have half a minute to check your answers. Now turn to section 4. Section 4. You will hear a lecturer discussing techniques for removing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. First, you have some time to look at questions 31 to 33. Now listen carefully and answer questions 31 to 33.
We all know about the role of carbon dioxide in causing global warming. Obviously, society needs to reduce the release of carbon dioxide, otherwise known as CO2. This gas comes from the burning of fossil fuels, such as coal and oil, and it is virtually impossible for society to prevent or even limit such activity. Our need for energy and power is just too great. Instead, a more practical idea is to collect the carbon dioxide from the burning process, for example, directly from the chimneys of power stations, and somehow prevent this gas from being released into the environment. To do that, you need to store it somehow, and that has to be essentially forever. It is perhaps for this reason that many believe that, rather than storing the carbon dioxide as a gas, it is better to react it with metal oxides, such as magnesium or calcium, which results in the formation of a hard carbonate material. The gas is, in effect, turned into a stable and unreactive solid, which can simply be dumped anywhere. This process actually occurs naturally, although very, very slowly, and is one cause of the surface limestone in the world. But this slow reaction speed is the problem. Even when enhancing this process through high temperature and pressure, or pre-treatment of the mineral, it is still far too slow to be economical. One other technique which has been suggested is to pump the gas to the bottom of the ocean, where it would react with compounds in the seawater, forming carbonic acid. However, this alternative has now been ruled out. The CO2 may be removed from the atmosphere, but the high oceanic acidity which would result raises its own set of problems, mostly with all the delicate life and the intricate food chains in the seawater, some on which we ourselves depend, and that's something which no one wants to experiment with.
Before you hear the rest of the lecture, you have some time to look at questions 34 to 40. Now listen and answer questions 34 to 40.
Perhaps because of the lack of alternatives, the most commonly discussed solution to the problem of disposing of carbon dioxide is to pump the gas underground, a technique known as geosequestration. In this system, the CO2, for example, could be pumped into underground pockets within depleted oil wells or disused coal tunnels. This carries, however, three serious disadvantages, namely the risk of leaks, the considerable costs involved, and finally the unproven effectiveness. Let us look at those three disadvantages in detail. Firstly, there is the risk of leaks. Although the gas would be deep and sealed over by masses of rock and earth, the huge pressures in these spaces would turn the gas into a liquid state, capable of moving through rock fissures or faults. This could allow the gas to eventually be released to the surface. Since CO2 is heavier than air, and thus pushes oxygen aside, such leaks could result in the suffocation of thousands or tens of thousands of people, certainly not a consequence to be taken lightly. Natural CO2 leakage from volcanic buildup has already witnessed such deadly events. The other problem of geosequestration is the cost. The time and effort spent on materials and construction, primarily the pipe work through which the gas would travel, does not come cheaply. So, if this system were to be implemented in, say, coal-fired power plants, the extra cost would have to be paid by the electricity user, whose bills would almost double as a consequence. Few people are prepared to pay this much simply to make a small dent on the effects of global warming. And this leads to the final problem. The most basic question is whether geosequestration actually reduces global warming. The problem here is that the energy needed to create and drive the sequestration process would require approximately a quarter of a coal-fired electricity plant's output. In other words, the plant would have to burn 1/4 more of its coal just to account for the sequestration of the carbon dioxide. And with coal producing other noxious pollutants, such as sulfur, ash, and heavy metals, the environment is hardly benefited at all. Nevertheless, there are many active experimental efforts underway, primarily in oil production sites. These are small, but intensively monitored and analysed. All we can say now is that the jury is still out on whether underground carbon storage will one day be feasible.
That is the end of section 4. You now have half a minute to check your answers. That is the end of the listening test. The end of the listening test. The end of the listening test. The end.
What the fuck? What the fuck? Oh my, this is trolling. Absolutely. So hard.
Test.
Fucking hard test. Oh wow, this test is so hard to do. There's no time that I can read it. 4.5, of course. Of course. Oh my.
The end. The end of listening test.
Fucking hell, 4.5, this is not good. Try again.
Section 1. You will hear a telephone conversation between an employer from the Wild Dune Spa and Resort and an applicant. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 5. You will see that there is an example which has been done for you. On this occasion only, the conversation relating to this will be played first.
Hello, is this John Murphy?
Hi, yes it is.
Hi John, this is Ed Heisenberg from the Wild Dune Spa and Resort, calling about your application for our lifeguard position. Do you have a few minutes to talk?
Yes, absolutely.
The employer says that he is calling about the application for their lifeguard position. So, lifeguard has been written in the space. Now we shall begin. You should answer the questions as you listen, because you will not hear the recording a second time. Listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 5.
Hello, is this John Murphy?
Hi, yes it is.
Hi John, this is Ed Heisenberg from the Wild Dune Spa and Resort, calling about your application for our lifeguard position. Do you have a few minutes to talk?
Yes, absolutely.
Great, could you give me your address?
Sure. My address is 45 Elsinore Court.
I'm sorry, was that Eleanor? Could you spell that for me?
Sure, it's Elsinore. Elsinore.
Okay, thanks. And is this the number we should reach you at in the future? 099885767?
No, that's my home phone. But let me give you my mobile number instead. 077 896 245. Call me on that one.
Okay, I'll make a note of that. Could you tell me your availability?
Sure, I'm usually available during afternoons or weekends. I'd prefer not to be scheduled on weeknights because I work part-time as a waiter.
That shouldn't be a problem, since we don't stay open very late anyway. And do you have any other employment experience?
Yes, I've worked at a few other places. I was the baseball coach at Richmond High School last season.
I see. And do you have any other experience that you would like us to note on your application?
Yes. Last year I worked at the beach as a rescue diver.
Rescue diver? That sounds intense.
Well, it's really just like being a lifeguard, except in the ocean instead of pool. So kind of like being a lifeguard at the world's largest pool.
I see.
Before you hear the rest of the conversation, you have some time to look at questions 6 to 10. Now listen and answer questions 6 to 10.
So could you tell me about the relevant skills you have? I'm guessing a lot given your experience.
I'm CPR certified and have 2 years of diving experience.
Great, it sounds like you are well qualified for this position. When does your CPR certification expire?
I think in November, but let me quickly check my CPR card. Actually, it expires in October.
Okay, so regardless, you have it through the end of the summer. When is your ideal time to work?
Since I work in the restaurant on weeknights, I like weekends best, specifically Saturday mornings.
I see. We do already have a lot of staff available on Saturdays, but I do need an early morning shift lifeguard. How early could you work Saturday morning?
I can get there by 6 o'clock if need be.
You'll be happy to know we open a little later than that, but I'll put you down for Saturday mornings here.
Oh, awesome. I can't wait to get started.
How about you come in next Saturday, the 12th?
That sounds good.
Great. We can figure out other shifts for you to work when you come in then. One last thing, just out of curiosity, where did you hear about us?
I heard your ad on the radio while I was driving this morning.
You know, I think you're the first person who has responded to our radio ads. It's almost always people who have seen us in the newspaper.
Yeah, I don't have time to read through the newspaper every morning. I have plenty of time in the car to listen to radio ads.
That makes sense. Well, thanks for your time, and we'll look forward to seeing you on the 12th.
That is the end of section 1. You now have half a minute to check your answers.
やば。くたばれ。Same.
Now turn to section 2. Section 2. You'll hear part of a free class about safety around campus. First, you have some time to look at questions 11 to 14. Now, listen carefully and answer questions 11 to 14.
Good evening. I'm Geoffrey Miller from the University of Nottingham Student Union, and in this week's free class, Carlos Garcia is going to tell us about safety around campus. Over to you, Carlos.
Thank you, Geoffrey, and thank you all for your attendance today. Also, I'd like to thank the Student Union here at the university for organising this lecture. Well, I've been serving and protecting the city of Nottingham for over 20 years now as a member of the police department. Does anyone know what type of crime is the most prevalent on campus? I heard someone say drugs and alcohol. That actually isn't too much of an issue. Violence? Nope. Actually, the biggest thing we worry about here is theft. The nature of crime on Nottingham's campus is quite different from that of the surrounding areas. Crime rates across the East Midlands are very difficult to control. We'd like to see the rate stay the same for this calendar year, but it has been increasing steadily over the past 3 years. On campus, however, I'm happy to say that the overall crime rate has fallen this year. You wouldn't think so if you've seen the extremely exaggerated stories in the media. The media has done nothing but cause more concern about crime in our area. Even the crime shows you see today are a little bit far-fetched, but at least viewers know they're not real events. We'd really like to see more factual news articles out there so the public can have a rational sense of the safety level of our society.
Before you hear the rest of the talk, you have some time to look at questions 15 to 20. Now listen and answer questions 15 to 20.
Okay, let's move on to what to do when you see a crime. Do not get involved if at all possible, and do not draw too much attention to yourself by running away in a conspicuous manner. Though most likely, and hopefully, you will not have to experience this situation, if you are being mugged, please do not try to resist. Instead, be compliant and seek help after the incident. Like I said, though, it is highly unlikely that you will find yourself amidst a crime, but it is important to be prepared should it ever happen. We find that educating students and staff on the correct precautions to take is the best way to increase your safety. Just remember to be smart when you're out late at night and avoid any area or person that looks suspicious. I know it sounds obvious, but I cannot stress this enough. It's also not a bad idea to have your mobile phone with you at all times, but be careful. If you're chatting on your smartphone on your way home, you're a prime target for thieves. I'd like to see a show of hands. How many people have left work or the library after 10 p.m. to go home before? A lot of you, right? If you do have to go home late at night, please don't walk home alone. More often than not, there's someone there that will be walking the same direction as you at some point. Walk home with a friend or co-worker. Even if you must use your phone to call someone that's nearby to walk with you, it's always safer to walk home with someone. So when you're walking home, you may feel more comfortable with some sort of self-defense, such as pepper spray. Now, it's your call whether you want to carry something like this or not. However, I absolutely advise against carrying a knife or any other offensive weapon. All too often, they can be used against you if you're disarmed, putting yourself in more danger. For all those interested, the Recreation Centre offers a free self-defence class to all students every Thursday evening. While obviously an introductory self-defence class may not equip you to fight off villains like a regular superhero, it does come in handy sometimes. After taking a self-defence class, you'll surely be more aware of possible dangers and how to deal with them. So hopefully now you have a more complete understanding of the nature of crimes committed on your campus and how to avoid being a victim. I know most students at the University of Nottingham are not the criminal types, but remember that there is no barrier like a wall or something keeping non-students out. There's no army force securing the borders, and I doubt anyone wants it that way. The campus is generally a safe place, but it's not immune to small crimes once in a while. All right, that's all I have to say for today. Stay safe.
That is the end of section 2. You now have half a minute to check your answers.
Scary.
Now turn to section 3. Section 3. You will hear a student called Bobby talking to his tutor about the research project. First, you have some time to look at questions 21 to 23. Now listen carefully and answer questions 21 to 23.
Hi, Bobby. Go ahead and sit down. Tell me about your research project.
Well, I decided to research football and keys for success on a football team.
That sounds great. What are the guidelines for the test? Did the teacher talk to you about it in class?
No, everything is on a handout that was passed out. It says that the first draft is due at the end of next week and the second and third are due later on in the month. I don't understand why we have to keep revising and fixing it. Is this assignment really that important?
Well, this project is a major requirement for passing 11th grade English and will go on your permanent record.
Oh, really? Does that mean it will affect what English level I am placed in next year?
Well, not exactly. You need a good grade to move on, but it is your overall grade and teacher recommendation that determines what level of English you are placed in next year. Anyway, tell me about your topic choice. Do you play football?
Well, actually, it's because my father loves the sport. He watches it every weekend.
Cool. It's a good idea to report on something you're interested in.
Before you hear the rest of the talk, you have some time to look at questions 24 to 30. Now, listen carefully and answer questions 24 to 30.
I see you worked hard calling players and the head coach to talk, so let's see what information you got.
Well, you have to listen carefully to the first call on the recording. It's really hard to hear because the background noise is louder than the person's voice.
Yes, it is a bit tough to discern. I'm afraid the player's answer is too short as well. You will have to interview him again and try to get him to give a better answer.
Okay, I thought that might happen. I will call him again tomorrow.
Moving on, let's look back at this question. You asked, tell me about a time when you learned a major life lesson through playing football and explain how that has shaped the person and player you have become now and how you hope to pass on that lesson. It is a great idea for a question, but in an oral interview it is far too complex. I would advise you to break it up into multiple parts to get a better response.
I guess you're right. I wouldn't want to have to provide an answer to a question like that. I will simplify it. I found that when I asked players this question, it took too much time because they were struggling to answer the question completely. In fact, this is the question Joe Billings was answering when the tape ran out.
He did tend to ramble on all the questions, didn't he?
He sure did.
I would recommend that when you go back and interview players again, that you use a more sophisticated recording device. This recording is spotty, which indicates that the equipment wasn't working consistently.
Okay, I guess it probably wasn't the best idea to use the sound recorder on my phone. Hey, could you give me some feedback on the content of the report itself?
Sure. Let's start by focusing on your topic. While I like that you chose to cover football, it seems inexplicit. The keys for success of a player and team is quite an interesting topic, but what is your thesis? That is to say, what conclusions can you draw from your research? I would suggest coming up with a strong thesis statement and then shaping your report based on that.
Is it really too vague? I put a whole lot of facts into it. I list the top 10 goal scorers in football history and later on provide statistics for a few of the most famous coaches and their records as coaches.
I think that's great that you included these facts, but I think you focus too much on the facts and not enough on connecting these facts to make your point.
Ah, I see. Okay. So it looks like I have quite a bit of work to do before the deadline.
That is the end of section 3. You now have half a minute to check your answers. Now turn to section 4. You will hear part of a lecture about how to give a quality speech. First, you have some time to look at questions 31 to 40.
Hey, Komi Katsu-san, what's up?
Now listen carefully and answer questions 31 to 40.
Good morning. Today I am going to cover the daunting task of giving a quality speech, a thought that makes most of us cringe. In fact, 90% of all people feel nervous about public speaking, about 10% of whom are described as genuinely terrified. Hopefully, when we are finished here today, you all will be in the 10% of the population who do not feel nervous at all. Did you know that lecturers tend to get more nervous if the speech they are giving is an important one? It makes sense, right? You probably wouldn't be nearly as nervous to address your residence hall about the proper use of the recycle and compost bins as you might be if you were asked to give the graduation speech to your entire 5,000 student class. So what is it that makes some people completely comfortable in front of crowds? Some people think that the ability to give a good speech is a gift that others are simply born with. This is almost never the case. Public speaking can be learned with practice. The first most important thing you can do to improve your confidence in delivering a speech is to prepare a quality speech. Honestly, while the content of your speech is relatively important, the audience will really only remember the last sentence you say. It is a good idea to structure the rest of your speech to lead up to this last point to really drive your message home. This is a good way to ensure that your speech is well organized. Once you are confident in the quality of the speech you have written, the rest is just about your stage presence. Let's go through some do's and don'ts of public speaking. First, you want to command the attention of the room. Do not, I repeat, do not proceed with your speech until the audience is paying attention. Even Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream speech wouldn't have made any difference in the world without the undivided attention of his audience. To continue with the I Have a Dream example, one of the reasons that MLK was such an effective orator was his ability to speak with passion and engage with his audience. That sort of charisma does not come from reading straight from paper. Don't get me wrong, it is a good idea to write your main ideas down on a note card, sheet of paper or something. But one factor that will consistently lead to a boring, forgettable speech is writing down your entire speech. Do not write your full speech down. If you are constantly reading your paper, you are not making eye contact with your audience, and thus failing to really express the feeling that goes with your ideas. I advise you write 1 or 2 ideas, so if you suddenly draw a blank, you have something to jog your memory. If you've written a good speech that you believe in, those ideas should be sufficient to keep you on track. Once you have those ideas written down, give your speech a few practice runs in front of the mirror, into your sound recorder on your phone, or with a friend before it comes time to address a crowd. That way, you can hear how the ideas come across, make sure there are no abrupt transitions, and find out whether you are talking too fast or too slow. Timing is important. Make sure you time yourself beforehand to see how long your speech is. That is pretty much it. With practice, you'll be able to deliver an expert speech that engages and even maybe inspires your audience. Just remember, speak with emotion. No one wants to listen to someone reading from a script. As I come to a close in my speech, I'll point out that I have employed all of these tips that I have covered. I practiced my speech ahead of time and timed it, and I can even show you my one small index card with just 3 simple bullets on it. It's as easy as that.
That is the end of section 4. You now have half a minute to check your answers.
Nervous. 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 Nervous.
That is the end of the listening test. The end of the listening test. The end of the listening test.
Shut up. 6? Really? 24. 危ねえ、ギリギリじゃん。 Hmm. Okay. Oh wow. So. A gift was right. Nervous. 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 I'm going to dump something.
で、エンド、終わるです。終わるです。終わるです。
And maybe it costs you nothing because you're going to eat them anyways.
What were you talking about? Crazy topics. Crazy topic.
Yes, these are going to be on your test.
Let's where we going to start with?
Do you want to do the questions on your test, or do you want me to just ask you like 100 different questions?
100 different of questions you prepared.
I mean, I could just think of it off the top of my head.
It's okay. Look here. There is question. I found nice video. This video contain all 3 parts. Part 1 to 3. I can do this. I can carry on with this with this. Or just like yesterday we can do it. Do you need a website? Here.
Yeah.
Here you are.
There you go.
So today we can continue speaking part 2 because we didn't do that properly. IELTS speaking part 2 practice 1. And I have to write it down first.
I'm hungry.
You are hungry. Go eat something. go eat something. I had a KFC tonight.
Not healthy, Kaz.
Hmm?
So
It's
KFC's
not
not healthy.
It's not Christmas. What are you guys talking about?
It's not Christmas, Kaz.
It's been a while for me to eat KFC. Last time I had KFC, that was last year. Almost a year. So, talk about a painting you would like to have in your home. You should say, what is it? How you know about it? How much it would cost you? And explain why you want to have it in your home. I can say that for
That seem grammatically correct. Why is it how much it would cost you? Because didn't you already buy the painting? Oh, because what painting you would like in your home. So they're basically saying, what painting would you like to buy? How much would it cost you?
Yeah. The price, they're asking me to answer, what is it? And what kind of knowledge you have? And how much? And why you want to conserve at your house. In your
That's
house.
just a weird question. I don't think everyone likes to buy paintings, but all right.
Paintings. What is it? So why I have to buy painting? First, I have the reason why. So there's a wall in my new house, and suddenly I want to paint my wall to pink. Full pink. Everywhere. Living room, kitchen room, even bathroom. I want to paint pink.
Yeah, but this is painting, like an artwork painting, not actual bucket paint.
Is it?
Yeah.
I thought bucket painting.
Well, we don't call it bucket. We don't call talk about a painting you would like to have in your home. I don't think, no, I'm pretty sure that can only be like art. Because if you look at it, it says it's art, and painting your walls is not. It's not considered art.
Oh, I see. See. Got it. That makes sense.
I don't think we refer to like painting. Like, I guess you could say you're painting your walls, but like about a painting you would like to have, which means like you possess it, which makes me think that it's a piece of artwork.
All right. Then how about this? What is it? Mona Lisa. Copy. Fake Mona Lisa.
Well, that's normally priceless, but you could say that. And maybe you could say it would cost infinite money.
It's copy. It's fake Mona Lisa. Okay, fake Mona Lisa first. Then how you know about it? So why I bought this?
Hi.
Because hi hero Brian. Hi hero Brian. Good evening. How are you?
That's Brian.
Is it Brian? Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Hero Brian. My apology. Calling something wrong.
Yeah, it's Brian Saba.
Brian Sama. ダメよ。ダメ。Sorry. Yes, Kaz. My name is Kaz. Nice to meet you, Brian.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks for your patience.
English study nice.
I'm studying English here on my stream. If you have questions, feel free to ask anything. Now, I'll continue my task. So, task 1, speaking test 2, practice 2, art. Talk about a painting you would like to have in your home. So, I found a Mona Lisa where I found this Mona Lisa in Italy. Very dark street, narrow street, and some elderly and unhygiene elderly selling this fake Mona Lisa painting. It was 30 euros. The size about the art was 1 meter length, 2 meter height. So it's pretty big. Hero Brian, thanks for following me. By the way, My explanation is good so far.
Kind of not, because like you still have to work on the articulating and all that. So like I heard it, I thought it was sort of okay, but without the articulation, it just kind of like goes through one ear out the other.
The first of all, what it is, I explained, is Mona Lisa, the fake Mona Lisa, of course, fake Mona Lisa. And where did I found this? In Italy, in Narrow Street, and there's a guy selling this fake painting, fake art, included Goho, Picasso, and so on, other arts. And I chose Mona Lisa because I admiring to the artist, which is Da Vinci. That is why I bought this paint. However, the size of paint was a little bit big.
Used to call it painting.
The size of painting was big. It was 1 meter length, 2 meter height. So it's difficult to carry. It was difficult to carry. It.
That's actually pretty good. You're doing a lot better as of late.
And
If you say all that, then they're gonna probably accept it pretty well.
And this painting cost me around €30, which is a little bit expensive, but still affordable.
And you mentioned how you knew about it because you saw it, like you saw it when you were walking.
Pardon?
How did you know about it?
It was accidentally caught my eye because the painting was so big itself.
Well, you might want to say like, I mean, it's good that it caught your eye, but you might want to say like, you were like traveling, you went through the alleyway, and it caught your attention, right?
Okay. I was.
Because this still applies that who, what, when, where thing. So like, it's like, where were you? But with who? How did it happen?
I was walking around the street in Venice. I was no idea where I was. I was no idea where I was. Just searching.
Don't say you didn't know where you were at. Remember, you never want to say like you're confused or you didn't know where you were. You always want to make it seem like you know what you're talking about in these tests, I would imagine. Because otherwise, they're gonna be concerned if you're like, oh, this guy doesn't know where he's at, right? It's not good.
All right, sure then. I was working on street, on the bridge in Venice.
You're walking, working, walking.
I was having a break. I was having a break time on bridge in Venice.
Okay. On the bridge?
Oh, on the bridge, yes.
Is it a big bridge, small bridge?
On the big bridge.
I'd be concerned if you're gonna jump.
Eh? Jump?
Yeah, because you're on a big bridge, just taking a break there.
Oh, small bridge. It was small bridge. The bridge for.
So small wooden bridge.
Well, small stone bridge.
Stone bridge. Okay.
Small stone bridge.
You just say you were near a small stone bridge.
I was near small stone bridge.
That's better.
The top of bridge. I spotted painting seller on top of bridge. Or middle of bridge.
I think you're trying to say like he had he was painting a painting in like in the middle
He was seller. He's not
of the
a
bridge. Or he
painter
was selling paintings on the bridge.
on the bridge.
You say on the bridge side,
On the bridge
perhaps.
side, middle of the
Yeah,
bridge side, or
that's better. Yeah,
middle of bridge side.
yeah.
There were so many different art um, on his left hand. So many famous.
Might be better if you even say add like there's a guy trying to sell paintings on the bridge side, and I had noticed and it caught my eye.
There's a guy trying to selling um, some paintings
Yeah.
on his right hand and the left hand. He sandwiched. He was sandwiched with his paintings.
Okay.
Does it make sense?
Yeah,
He
it's
had
good enough.
paintings in both hands.
Both hands.
Did he have paintings in both of his hands?
No, his hands on his knees. He was sitting on the bridge on the carpet. Crimson carpet.
I don't think it's believable that he brought a carpet with him, but you know.
A merchant, paint merchant, sitting on a crimson carpet on middle of the bridge side.
I'm not sure I understand the bridge side.
Yeah, most people don't talk about bridges, so it's always tough to describe it. So like we're trying to say like there was a guy trying to sell stuff like on the middle of the bridge. I was thinking in my head, I was like, oh, you could say maybe the middle of the road of the bridge, but also it's not going to sound very good either.
It's
That's why I
also
said on the
Venice.
bridge side.
How about?
I mean, you could just say on the bridge, but it does leave out a lot of details.
I'm simply stipulating that it's Venice, so there won't be a road.
I won't add another information like he's sitting on the bridge. Also, his attitude is a little bit bored because nobody interested to his product, and also I want to add he's sitting on the
He
carpet.
set up a shop. He set up a shop on the high traffic part of the bridge. And then you don't have to specify specifically where. It's just a high traffic part of the bridge.
High traffic part of the bridge.
Yeah.
Is also can call him as merchant.
Yeah, it's fun. There's a merchant that was selling paintings on a high traffic part of the bridge.
The Merchant of Venice.
Okay then. 1 year ago, when I was in Venice.
Sorry, how many years?
1 year ago.
1 years? Singular.
Shit. Oh, you're right. Okay, how about this? 3 years ago.
Okay.
I would say you're correcting your mistake. You're just like, I'm going to roll with years. It's 1 year ago.
3 years ago, I was in Venice. On that day, it was shiny weather.
Kira kira tenki?
It was shiny weather.
だからキラキラキラキラ天気ってなんだ?
Let me write it down. Okay, so sorry.
どういうこと?
3 years ago. Start with 3 years.
3
years ago.
Yes.
In Venice. I was in Venice. I was in Venice. Venezia. Venice. Venice. I was in Venice. Okay, I want to explain the weather. The weather condition. It was shiny, warm, dry,
Hold on.
no
What do you
cloud, blue
think?
sky.
What do you mean? How can weather be shiny? Does weather produce a light?
Sun produced light.
No, Kaz. Okay, yeah.
The-
So the sun is the only thing that produces the light, right?
Yeah, the sun
That
was shiny.
means only the sun
Oh,
could be shining.
the sun was very shiny,
You should say shining
shiny,
or very bright.
shiny. Why I spell wrong? I see.
That's not called the sun shining. No one's like directly looking at it. You know,
The sun was very shiny. Does it make sense or?
it doesn't make sense. Just call it bright.
Oh, the sun was
Yeah.
very bright. Bright.
The sun was shining.
He could say shining, but let's not do that. Just say bright.
Okay.
BR.
Bright.
More.
The sun was very bright. Then, GHT, right? Bright. The sun was very bright. I couldn't see any single cloud on the sky. In the sky.
So past tense. There were no clouds in the sky.
The sun was very bright.
Yeah.
There were no clouds in the sky.
Yes. Good.
It would make more sense if say there was no visible clouds in the sky, but you don't actually have to do that.
Right. I don't have to do this, or there were no sky.
No, I was saying it would make more sense if you said there was no visible clouds in the sky.
There's no visible cloud in the sky. Oh.
Yeah, so it's basically implying clouds could exist somewhere in the sky, but I visibly can't see them.
No, absolutely. There's perfect blue sky.
It's okay.
Clear skies.
Clear sky. Clouds in the sky. There are clear sky. Clear.
Hey, look, it's 420 words.
Clear sky. Clear sky. With dry air.
Skies, plural.
Oh, clear skies. Why sky?
I don't know.
What sky? What?
the sky is, but it's then skies. Yeah, I don't know.
Isn't the sky uncountable?
There's only one. I know.
What? Clear skies. What? What? Clear skies and dry air. Clear skies and dry air. See? Dry air. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
How about wind? No wind. Dry air, no wind. It was very hot. It was very, very hot.
It is in Venice.
Yes. Okay.
So that dry air, no wind means something in the middle of that. Okay,
How about during summer? 3 years ago, during summer, I was in Venice.
Yes.
Summer. During summer? The summer, I forgot always. 3 years ago, during the summer, I was in Venice. The sun was very bright, and there were no clouds in the sky. Clear skies, and dry air, no wind. It was very hot. Okay, now. This is condition of
summer
weather.
there though, because I feel like if you say it was already summer, then you describe summer, kind of like repeating yourself, in my opinion.
Is it?
Depends where you are. Summer is different
I
everywhere
mean,
you
it's
go.
true, but to me, it's kind of like he said it's summer, and then he's like, oh, like yeah, there was clear skies and no clouds. It's just like summer. I mean, it's okay, but
Well explained, you know. I know I'm repeating, I understand that, but I have to make lots of stories, you know.
It's fine, it's fine.
And okay, where am I at this time? I was looking for the place that I can rest. Yeah. At that time, at what time? At that time, I was looking for the place that I can rest.
I was
Now,
looking for
is it rest, or is it like for a place you can sit down and rest?
The place that I can. I'm trying to avoid the heat. I'm trying to escape from the heat. Nasty heat.
Might want to say that.
Oh. Just say I was trying to.
You say I was trying to escape the heat, so I was looking for a place with some shade.
I was trying to evocation from heat.
What did you just say? I'm trying to escape the heat. I was trying to plentifully escape the heat. There's plentiful amounts of heat radiating from the sun, blasting over me, scorching me like a volcano.
I was trying to escape from deadly.
The sun was beating down upon me. Vigorously.
Heat wave.
The heat wave took a couple victims in its path, but I was certain not to be one of them.
Heat wave from the song.
I instantly had a tan.
So detailed, isn't it? I was trying to escape from the deadly heat wave from the sun.
From the sun is enough information, I think.
Don't need. Yeah.
Oh, heat wife. So Cal's just trying to escape his wife.
This deadly heat wave that's already claimed 6 lives.
Very deadly wife.
I was trying to escape from the deadly heat wave.
There's no soap lands in sight.
Looking for shade. Side. Shade. What? Why? Shade.
Sad.
Shade. Looking for shade.
SHADE.
SHADE. Shade. Oh.
Yeah, you gotta pronounce it that. That's shade.
I will pronounce if I make typo next time. Looking for shade. Okay, I'm looking for shade. And
Where did you find your shade?
Where did I find shade? Yeah, good question. Where? How? but I was looking around near the bridge. I came to bridge. I came across the bridge.
Walked.
I walked. I walked. I walked. I walked. I walked. I walked. I walked the bridge. I walked across.
I walked across the bridge.
I walked across.
Yeah, well, he's going the merchant that's in the middle of it, right?
Saki-chan.
Literally.
So shouldn't he be like, I was walking across the bridge, and then it caught my eye. There was a merchant that had paintings, right? Because if you say he walked across it, then he's already across the bridge.
Oh, true.
So his destination's the middle of the bridge.
While crossing the bridge.
Right.
While crossing the bridge. While crossing the bridge.
You may want to say you while walking across the bridge.
While walking.
So that you specify that you weren't going across it that quickly.
While walking slowly.
Yeah, you can say that.
Yeah, slowly. While walking slowly, slowly. While walking slowly, crossing the bridge.
Wait, why would you be walking slowly if you were trying to escape the heat?
Because I was exhausted.
It was hot.
How can I add?
Maybe he
because
was trying to be safe. There's too many vehicles across the bridge.
While walking slowly, with exhausted leg, with
So you took your one leg. Just the one.
Exhausted legs.
No, it's not eggs. It's like exhausted. Yeah, exhausted. Not exhausted.
Exhausted.
No, exhausted.
Exhausted.
Exhausted. I'm gonna read it every time you mess up cats. Exhausted.
Exhausted. But isn't O late after X?
Exhaust.
Oh.
Exhausted.
AU. Exhausted.
Yeah.
Exhaust. So EXAUSTED.
EXHAUSTED.
Exhausted.
Yep.
Oh. While walking slowly with exhausted legs, crossing the bridge, I accidentally found
Kappa.
Eh? Kappa?
Whilst walking slowly with exhausted legs crossing the bridge, I found Kappa. Sorry.
It's okay. I found merchant. I found a merchant.
Mermaid.
Merchant. Found a merchant. Bridge. I found a merchant.
A merchant.
A merchant.
This is merchant.
Who selling fake
That's not correct. That's not merchant.
Yeah, Paddy, sorry, sir.
Eh? Merchant? 쇼인이잖아.
Merchant.
Merchant.
M-E?
M-E.
Oh, merchant.
Merchant.
And not Mars.
Merchant. Merchant don't need who, really.
Well, you might be able to use whom. Whom was selling. It's up to you on that.
Who was selling fake paintings? There you
Yeah,
go.
that's reasonable.
Fake what kind of paint? Fake famous paintings. Or
Fake paintings of famous artists.
fake paintings of famous artists.
Plural.
Artists.
Mm-hmm.
Such as, for example, next.
I was just gonna say you don't have to add this, but if you're curious, you could also say famous works would also be efficient.
Famous works.
Yeah, just in case I don't know for a reason you're doing another writing session and you're like, oh, what else could I put here instead?
Rather than artists.
Yeah, I'm just so you're aware. No, you can leave artists there. I'm not saying to correct it. I'm simply saying in another situation, just remember if you're referencing something like that, you might be able to just say famous works.
Got it. Famous works. Worksmanship.
Right.
For example, Picasso, the art from Picasso.
So I wonder if this should be from famous artist. Because if you say of famous artists, it could also mean that these are paintings of those artists.
Oh.
It's getting a bit too complicated.
No, I was letting you know, Kaz, that your sentence potentially means that it's not artwork of Mona Lisa, but it's the artwork of the artist who made Mona Lisa. Does that make sense?
Artwork who made the Mona Lisa?
The artist.
Da Vinci?
Right. So think of it this way. Let's say you made a painting, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to sell paintings. And your sentence means I'm selling paintings of you, not the actual artwork.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So instead of selling Da Vinci's artwork, you're selling paintings of Da Vinci.
You mean the merchant not going to paint directly in front of you?
No. He means, yeah, it's a subtle distinction.
So the merchant is selling artwork that
Of
looks
famous
of
artists.
Da Vinci instead of Da Vinci's actual paintings.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does it make sense?
Yeah,
so that's what your sentence means.
But I just before that I just already mentioned that it's fake paintings.
It's fine. I'm just letting you just be aware that you're not mentioning
The real art.
The real art. You're mentioning the artists themselves. Yeah.
Okay.
I say that because I'm pretty sure you were aiming for the works and not the actual artist, but this is fine.
Okay. So fake paintings of famous artists' work. Possibly.
Am I wrong? Were you aiming for? I mean, you said Mona Lisa. Mona Lisa's that's an artwork, not the artist.
True. Okay,
Because
got
if he
it.
starts writing about Mona Lisa later, they're gonna be like, "What the fuck?"
Got it.
You started the next bit correctly though.
That's we are not selling any artists, but artist works.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Found a merchant who was selling fake paintings of famous artists' works. The next part is, okay, I want to explain how merchant looks like, where is it, and the surroundings of merchant. First of all, his appearance. The merchant.
I get to describe it. He has black hair. He's wearing earpieces. He's got a black shirt on.
What?
I'm describing you guys.
It's me then.
Yeah.
The merchant. Merchant.
Merchant.
Oh, the merchant.
So always think of mermaid and merchant.
Merchant. Mermaid.
このイギリス人は誰ですか
That is where the
きっ
word
と彼らは
merchant
毎
comes
日
from.
午後にお茶を飲
Is
み
it?、
とても乾燥したクラッカーを
Literally
食べて
crossing
い
the
る
sea
と
to
思います。
3T, your Japanese is very funny. The merchant looks like merchant has unique appearance. Unique. Unique. Hmm. 難しいね。unique. Unique.
So one thing to remember is whenever you use a Q in English, it's always followed by a U, I believe. So it's always QU.
QU.
Yeah.
QU like this. Unique.
Correct. Yeah. You still need an E at the end.
Oh. The merchant has unique appearance.
スイートティーちゃん、どういうことですか？わかりますぞ。
Appearance.
APPEARANCE. Appearance. Unique appearance. A unique. The merchant has a unique appearance. What kind of appearance? Silk. Start with silk cocked hat. Silk. The hat was made of silk.
Silk. Black. Cocked hat. Cocked hat.
Yeah, Coke hat. Wait, no, what? Cocked? What the fuck?
Eh?
Cocked?
Small.
He chin-chinned his hat?
Cocked hat.
Cat, did he chin-chin his hat?
No.
It's a small black cock.
No.
What? Cause you were typing it.
Oh. What?
Cause you literally wrote, he has a small black cocked hat.
Okay. So...
気に入ってないで、それは正しいでしょ。
Small black hat. A small black hat.
それは
Are you sure you don't want to include
私の
cocked?
日本語は完璧です。私は北野武監督の映画やジョジョの奇妙な冒険を見てこの言語を学びました。
The word cock means chin-chin. Just FYI.
No, it doesn't.
Depends, right? I learned the cocked hat from Oliver Twist.
Cocked does not mean.
So, like, there are words like cocking, which does not mean cock. And then there's like cocked.
Just for Americans, they think of the chin-chin.
知るか。
Well, that might be true, but you probably should still not use the word cocked. I'm just saying.
Alright, a small black hat then. A small black hat, crimson waistcoat,
Crimson waistcoat.
Waistcoat.
Waistcoat. Waistcoat.
Do you guys use the word wanker in college writing?
What is that?
Not really.
That's what I was thinking. So even then, they would be somewhat inappropriate, right?
For us, wanker is a lot more harsh than it is in America for some strange reason. I don't know why.
God.
That's what I'm saying though, because like,
I've heard that word on primetime TV in the US, but that wouldn't happen here.
yeah, I mean, obviously I've heard it in British movies all the time, but
You wanker.
yeah, they say it 24/7. I mean, I think it was even in Harry Potter. So
I doubt that very much.
I think Hermione was running around like, "Boy, you little wanker! You get away from my Harry."
British people use words like wanker and shagging. You can't take them serious.
Don't worry, sweet tea. We weren't taking you seriously either, but I wasn't going to mention it.
I just want to combine the two words.
What?
Yeah.
Wanker and shagging.
Yeah, well, I want to be like, boy, you're wanky shagging.
Touche.
Use a euphemism. It sounds even funnier.
Euphemism? What do you mean?
Just say wagging. Just say wagging and use it as euphemism.
What the fuck? Oh, you were in the back there doing some wagging. I saw you wagging it.
SOCKS. SOCKS. Socks.
Socks. There you go.
Now wagging
That
sounds
word
like
is
a
perfectly
respectable
okay,
word.
Kaz.
Heh. Look this. Perfect. Unique appearance. A small black hat, a crimson waistcoat, brown short pants, sandals, and very long socks.
Wow, it's a good description.
Oh, but
Brown doesn't have a U in it.
Oh. Brown short pants and blue sandals. Blue rubber sandals and a very long Christmas socks.
Well, he's an artist, so he dresses differently. Oh, he's a merchant, but you know.
Yeah. Christmas socks. Perfect.
I mean, there is the phrase tongue wagging. Like you gave them a tongue
Hello,
wagging.
Kazu.
Hello, genius. How are you?
Hello there. Kenobi.
Hello, Discord people.
Alright. I done with
Hello there, ominous.
I finished explaining how merchant looks like. Now, first of all, I was afraid to ask him about the paint itself, which caught my eye, which is the Mona Lisa, because he's a weird appearance. So I was a little bit scared of him.
Let's just say there was clear skies and dry air. To me, it seems odd if you just start like, you're like, there's no clouds in the sky, clear skies and dry air. Like, I feel like it should be like, there was clear skies and dry air.
Sure. There was.
The problem is that if you keep rewriting it, the grammar starts to switch backwards and forwards.
Should be okay.
There were clear skies. There was clear sky. I mean,
There were.
let's say was is incorrect.
They were clear skies, and here there was.
Well, I didn't think it was correct with just start a sentence clear sky. Like, how do you start a sentence just clear skies? And clear skies and dry air.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, so I was a little bit nervous. I was uh, a little. I was a little bit.
Look, I was a little boy.
No, nervous, nervous to ask, to ask his, to ask his, to ask about, to ask about his, products, because due to the appearance, due to the unique appearance, due to the unordinary looks, unordinary looks.
I don't know if you're judging him on his looks, but all right.
There, why there, there, there. Unusual, not unordinary. Unusual, unusual looks. Usual looks.
It's kinder to say his unique looks. If you use unusual or like a negative word, it's somewhat of a harsh thing to do.
Extraordinary.
Yeah, you can say that. I think that's like a positive description.
Why should it be why it should be though? If you wouldn't be a little nervous when talking to somebody you think looks good.
Did you write that yourself?
True. Did you write that yourself? Yeah, yes. Pretty much 80%, 20% helped from
Very nice.
Sensation, Black, and Blaze. But most of the text I wrote it by myself.
He wrote it pretty much all himself on this. We just corrected like grammar mistakes.
Small one, big one sometimes.
Like when he writes cocked, things like that.
Black cocked hat.
A small black cocked hat. It got cocked earlier.
I was a little bit nervous to ask about his product due to the
yeah, I'd be nervous too if he had a small black cocked.
However, my eyes.
It really helps a lot learning from native speakers.
Exactly.
Cass is lucky. He's got American native and he's got British native here. He's got both sides.
I'm sandwiched with British and
How
American
English,
natives.
like originated from, and then how English like evolved later in America.
So.
Evolved.
I don't know. What word would you use?
Chips versus potato. Chips versus potato chips or fries.
British and American English is slightly different.
You see, I'll explain American history to you.
Lifter versus elevator. Aluminum.
We were originally drinking tea over in England and all that, and then we found coffee and we're like, oh yeah, let's go to America. And then we started talking different. We blamed coffee for it.
Blaze, how you gonna pronounce aluminium?
Aluminum.
Aluminium.
Aluminum.
Aluminium.
Aluminum.
No, neum.
Haha, nice one, Kazu.
Aluminium.
Aluminium, bro. Why you skip?
To be fair, I'm gonna say that word is probably pronounced very differently all the time, even in the same area.
Really? Why though?
Well, take my name for it. Azure.
Azure.
This name I've been called. Yeah, I've been called. People say my name differently all the time. I've been called Azule, Azura, Um, I don't know. There's like over 10 different names of saying Azure apparently.
Blue.
Most light blue.
Yeah.
Sky blue.
From the Spanish azul,
Yes.
presumably.
Alright. This. However, my eyes stuck to the one interesting paint. One piece of an interesting piece of paint. Really? One
Interesting painting.
interesting painting. What? However,
I
my
don't know. Should
eyes
this be
stuck
my
to the
eyes
one.
stuck?
I mean,
'Cause it's-
yeah, eyes stuck. I mean, my eye cannot see other thing.
I know what you mean, but like, it could mean two different things. You might want to clarify that. So like maybe one thing
My
caught
eyes
my
were
eye and
drawn.
stayed there, or yeah, my eyes were drawn to the one thing. Or if you say my eyes stuck, it can also literally mean like someone threw your eyeballs at it.
That's scary.
Like this is fine. You can exaggerate in this manner, and I don't think anyone would misunderstand it. But it can also literally mean your eyeballs are stuck to it.
And my eyes drawn.
Drawn.
My
eyes were drawn to one interesting painting.
Drawing.
My eyes were drawn to the one interesting painting. Yeah.
My eyes were
drawn.
It's drawn because it's like past tense. And then ing would be like it's currently being drawn there.
Drawn, not to, drawn on.
And 2 is correct.
2 is correct. My eyes, however, my eyes were drawn to the one interesting painting. So now I have to explain what kind of painting. Which is Mona Lisa from Da Vinci. Mona Lisa.
If we didn't correct what we corrected earlier, it was just going to be Da Vinci.
Oh.
It's a painting of Da Vinci.
Mona Lisa.
2 words.
Mona
Lisa.
Mona Lisa. From Da Vinci. Da Vinci. This is so difficult to spell. Mona.
V-I-N-C-I.
It's like Da Vinci. Da Vinci.
Da Vinci.
Yeah,
Da Vinci.
Da Vinci.
Da Vinci. Da Vinci, go make the pizza.
What?
Da Vinci, you didn't spell my name correctly. It's Vin and then C.
Vinci here.
There's no H in it. But you calling me Da Vinci.
Da Vinci.
I'm like the Grinch.
Da Vinci.
V-I-N.
Yeah.
V-I-N-C-I.
C-I. C-I?
Da Vinci.
ラテン語でしょ。
ヴィンチ。ラテン語わかんないよ。あ、ダヴィンチこうか。
Why is there another H in my name? There we go.
Ah, なるほど。 Vinci. Mona Lisa from Da Vinci, which is yes. So what's the extraordinary thing about this painting? Which is much larger than compared to original painting. It was big. It was very big. Big painting. Compare to original one. It was a very big painting compared to original to the original to the original one that are compared. So I explained, but how big? Twice bigger. It was twice bigger. It was twice bigger than original one.
Twice as large.
Twice as large. Twice as large. Then
compared to the.
なんで It was a twice as large compared to the original one. It was the Mona Lisa. The Mona Lisa.
Yeah.
It was, so I explained how big the painting is, how it looks like. So now I have to explain why it caught my eye. Da Vinci is my one of the favorite historical people. Historical man. Human. Da Vinci is one of my favorite historical
people.
So I was wow. That is why historical people. So I was trying to buy this paint. So I bought this painting for 50 euro. 50 euro. Figures, historical figures.
Yeah, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Not saying people, but figures.
I would say people, but I guess it's wrong.
Figures. Figures.
Figures is sort of implying like
It's
I guess that they
figures.
were famous in a way. Like they
Hmm.
were idols or icons essentially.
Isn't figure out like find out? I thought
Well,
figure
it's more like
means
a figure, like a shape.
figure shape.
In this context, it's more like a shape. So a historical
Historical
shaped.
figures.
Like I said, it's referencing like an icon or an
People
idol.
is okay
So you
too,
could
though.
basically think it's like an icon. So a
People is
historical idol
okay
or
too.
historical icon.
Historical icon.
Yeah.
Historical memory. That's different meaning. So I decided to. So I bought this painting for 50 euros. Euros. And what's factor I need to say? And explain why you want to have it in your home. So I use so already. Why? Now I can what I want to say, I'm trying to say, if I bought this Mona Lisa and stick to my room wall, then I will
Yeah,
every
this
time.
doesn't make sense because this isn't saying for you to actually buy the painting, and you're saying you actually bought it. The question was like, how much would it cost you, and explain why you would want to have it. It didn't say about a painting you actually went and bought.
Because I am admiring to the artist.
Guys, like, do you understand the question? Go read the questions. It says, explain why you'd want to have it. Okay, want to have it, want to have it, want to have it. Did not say to actually buy it, right? So this is why it's asked you how much would it cost you, not how much did it cost you.
So I didn't buy at all.
You didn't. You're not supposed to buy it.
Oh.
So you might want to go re-edit it and say, oh, I passed it. I was interested in getting it, and then maybe next time I'll get it or something like that. Not supposed to actually buy it.
Damn, I misunderstood. Oh shit. Okay, then by this.
I'm gonna get water. Be right back.
It was it was 50 euro.
It was 50 euros to buy.
So I asked to, don't need this information. I asked to the merchant, how much is it? He said 50 euros. It was 50 euros to buy. It would cost around 50 euros. 50 euros. It was 50 euros to buy. Unfortunately,
unfortunately, I can't have it because paint itself was too big to carry with it to bring it to my home at that time. Maybe next time with a good preparation. However, if I get that paint, I can pray to the paint every day. Is that a good reason?
Praying to the painting.
Unfortunately, I unfortunately the painting was too big, too large, too big, too big, too big, too big. Carry with me to my home. So
I'm back.
welcome back. So next time, with good preparation, unfortunately, the painting was too big to carry with me to my home. So if I had this painting, I can pray to the paint, to the Mona Lisa.
What the? What?
So, there you go.
I stop trolling. What the hell?
I'm not trolling. I'm serious.
You want to pray to the Mona Lisa?
Pray to the Mona Lisa? Yeah, why?
I don't know if that makes sense, but all right.
It doesn't make sense, really.
100万神様知らないのか
100万 Pray to the Mona Lisa. You are not going to pray to anybody that you famous, that figure, historical figures. Well, I'm not.
I'm not, but I won't judge you on that.
See? So, well, I'm not usually, but
I would just encourage you to use soap plant figures instead.
just making the story up because I usually not buying any paintings or
The
posters
thing is, if
to
you
my
say
home.
something like this, then the instructor is going to ask you more about that. They're gonna be like, "What do you mean you're going to pray to that Mona Lisa?"
Because I'm admiring to Da Vinci.
I get you, but I'm just saying, like, if you write that, they're most likely going to ask you about it.
Then if I had because I am
Didn't you just say that you like Da Vinci's how he invented a lot of things, and you were inspired by seeing one of his paintings nearby, and he really inspired a lot of people with how he drew things and of that time and era.
Praying is still accurate, believe it or not. If you know about the million gods.
Million gods. Yes, Da Vinci is one of my gods because I am admiring to the great
great inventor, Leonardo da Vinci.
Leo.
Leonardo.
Nardo. Yeah. You already did it.
全部あれなの、ローマ字なのね、ダヴィンチ。
Leonardo da Vinci.
Great inventor. The great to admiring. Great inventor, Leonardo da Vinci. So why I'm admiring him? He inspired me a lot. Yes.
Well, Da Vinci actually invented like I think it was like over 10 or 20, maybe 30 different inventions before he was like the age 14 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He also composed a lot of music, and he also the artist.
Yeah.
And he also
he was one of the ones that
and...
were drawing while using a mirror. So he would like look at the reflection and like balance it and draw it specifically while from looking in the mirror.
It's crazy. I mean, good way.
Yeah.
Done. Finished.
All right. Good job.
But I have to make this sentence again. Not how many hours did I spend? 2?
Well, that's the thing. This is what I was gonna say is I was gonna have you from now on only write one sentence so that you have to speed train. So that means you need to be able to throw out one sentence very, very quickly, and then you can build on top of that and make it 2 and 3 and that. Because this is taking too long. You only have 10 minutes in the study to actually write this.
But actually, I only have 1 minute to write about.
Excuse me, 1 minute.
Yeah, not 10 minutes.
10 times less.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's why I'm thinking you need one sentence training, and you need to be able to just throw them out.
1 minute to write. No way.
Yeah, let's practice.
Like you're good, but it takes you too long. Like if you don't have anything, then
I know. I don't have any time. That's why. How many days
that's why
left
you
though?
need the speed training.
1, 2. I have like month, 30 days. So 7,
you got plenty of
7, 14, 14, 21, 21, 7. Yeah, about less than 30 days.
So here's what I recommend. I recommend we try that new training I'm gonna tell you about. And then I do also think you should consider maybe playing some type of video game with an English speaker at some point as well, just so you get used to communicating back and forth. And you need to be talking more so than the English speaker as well. You get what I'm saying? Like just so you're used to communicating back and forth.
Then let's do it. So
All right. So for now, what I want you to try doing is I'm going to ask you these questions, and I want you to not write anything down. And I know that's the one thing you don't want to do, but don't write anything down. And I want you to answer these questions with one sentence. And we're just going to go through each of these questions. I don't think there's that many. Then I'm going to start asking you questions just randomly myself. And we'll see if you improve via that way.
Why are you streaming Sensation Black on Discord?
Why?
I just realized when I checked Discord, you were streaming on Discord. I was like, why I'm seeing my face on Discord and what?
He wants to stream me.
Black Sensation also streaming.
I'm teaching English. That's why.
And What is this? What is this background? You have many moving GIFs. I can spot Dragon Balls there and oh, interesting background you have. Sorry for interruption, Blaze.
No, you're good.
Let's continue.
All right, so let's go review what we've already asked you before to see if you've improved on it at all, and then we can sort of judge how we should go about this. Are you ready?
All right, sure. I'm ready.
It's Dark Souls training, Kaz.
I'm going to close my eye.
All right, so I'm gonna get a timer. So you're allowed to have 1 minute. So let me see. 1 minute timer.
I'm going to use my super concentration skill.
All right.
LOL.
All right, presume once I've asked you the question that I've started the time. Okay.
Ha 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 ha.
So let's talk about your hometown. Where is your hometown?
My hometown in southern part of Japan.
Okay, good. That's all I wanted you to do. That's one sentence, okay? All right, next one. What do you like about it?
I like about my hometown is the food. My favorite food.
All right, good. No, don't expand it. Just that's good enough. All right, next one. What do you not like about it?
The weather over there is very harsh, especially during summer.
All right, good. How important is your hometown to you?
Unfortunately, not that important. Because I only have a few friends over there, and my family living somewhere else.
All right. Let's move on to talk about your accommodation. Tell me about tell me about the kind of accommodation you live in.
Currently, I'm living in an apartment.
Okay. Does the place you live in have many amenities?
I saw there are several amenities. For example, gym, offices, and communication room.
All right, good. Is there anything you would like to change about the place you live in?
Yes, the only one thing I want to change is the internet. It's too slow. It's annoying. Very annoying.
Okay. Do you plan to live there for a long time?
To be honest, I don't know.
You might want to add something to that. So, because it's sort of like a phrase where you add another part to it.
To be honest, I don't know. Because I cannot predict what is going to happen in the future. However, I don't have any plans to move from this country.
Okay, good. What is your country famous for?
In my country, sushi is very famous. Everyone likes to eat sushi. Even me, including me, myself.
Okay. Where do you live in your country?
I used to work in.
I said, where do you live in your country?
Not live for living. Sorry.
No, not living.
Living. I'm living in southern part of
You
Japan.
should probably just say, I don't live there. I live in the UK now.
Oh.
You don't live there currently, do you? You don't.
No, I
So
don't.
the question is, where do you live in your country? And obviously, you don't live there now. So
Okay. I used to live in third largest island in Japan called
No.
Kyushu.
You don't currently live there. I'm asking you, where do you live in your country? So you say, I don't currently live there, or you say I currently don't live there.
Recently, I'm what was the question again? Sorry.
Where do you live in your country?
In your country, in my.
Yes.
It means in my home country, no?
It should, yes.
Yeah, so I can say like I used to live in Kumamoto City, which is the third largest island in Japan, located in southern part.
You could say
Japan.
that, but it's better, in my opinion, if you say, I currently don't live there, but when I did, I used to live in the southern part of Japan, etc., etc.
Oh, not used to. I used to live or that.
Well, the reason why you don't want to necessarily say I used to live there to this question, in my opinion, is how can I express it? It's almost as like someone on Twitch was like, where do you live in Japan? You're not going to answer with in the southern part, or I used to live in the southern part. You're going to probably answer with I'm in the UK currently, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the same thing in this situation. You're like they're basically inquiring where do you currently live, even though they're saying where do you live in your country, right? That's what this sort of question's occurring with this.
I get it. Okay. And I say this. Currently, I'm not living there. Then what should? However, I was in southern part of Japan. I was in third largest island in Japan called Kyushu, and middle of Kyushu there is Kumamoto City.
That's good. You don't have to include the city name. Okay? You can just say like the
Kumamoto.
prefecture. It's fine. Yeah.
Middle of Kyushu, Kumamoto.
Right. That's better, I mean. Okay, so is it an interesting place to live?
Yes. Japan for everyone. Damn. Interesting to live. I don't know. Interesting.
So I want to start off by saying that this is one of those questions that's like a yes or no. So you want to answer like yes, it is, blah blah blah, or no, it's not, blah 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 blah.
Okay. Yes and no. So because why is this?
Yes, if you say yes or no, then you're gonna do more than one sentence. I only want a one sentence answer.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, because there is 21 heritage sites plus a lot of attractions, natural springs, national parks which interest the foreigners.
So let's see. Are you planning to live there in the future?
Not at the moment. I'm super busy at my studying English. So, not at the moment.
You're good. I'll continue. All right. So, how's the weather today?
The weather today was cold, mild wind, which is perfect for me. However, according to forecast, this afternoon, according to forecast, it will be
That's
raining
beyond
this
one
afternoon.
sentence. That's beyond one sentence. So you're stumbling. Don't do that.
Okay.
It's one sentence. Okay.
Okay.
What's your favorite kind of weather?
Mild temperature.
Okay. Is there any type of weather you really don't like?
Extreme temperature with a high humidity. So it's very unpleasant.
Right. So in this situation, I'm basically asking you to describe a certain type of weather you don't like. So you don't really want to say extreme weather. You would want to be like, oh, I don't like high humidity weather, or I don't like when it rains too much, or something like that, right?
Okay.
Okay.
猫ポンチさんどうも。ただいま、スピーキングの練習中でございます。修行中です。お久しぶりです。ご機嫌いかがでしたか？ So, I'm not prefer very hot with high humidity.
That's not grammatically correct. I don't prefer very hot with high humidity. So, what are you talking about?
Trying to say.
Yeah, remember your what? What is it you're talking about? So, what is very hot?
What
high
is
humidity?
During summer?
Well, you want to say the weather. You're talking about the weather.
Weather.
いい天気ですね。
Like very bright sunshine.
I'm gonna ask you again. So, what is your favorite kind of weather?
Mild temperature.
Okay, so you might want to say
Dry
my favorite
air
kind of
would be
weather
perfect.
is. If you just say mild temperature, like you might want to say my favorite kind of weather is.
My favorite weather. My favorite.
Or I prefer the weather that's like this.
My favorite weather is mild temperature with dry air.
Good. Yeah, if you kind of just say, sometimes just if you just straight like that's like what happened earlier where you were just like clear skies. It lacks a lot of details, and I don't know. It's better if you say sentences sort of like, I prefer this, or I like that, or the weather is like this.
Okay.
Yeah. So, is there any type of weather you really don't like?
The weather that I not prefer, which is high humidity with high temperature.
Okay, so you said I not prefer.
Not prefer.
Think about it. I not prefer.
I'm not prefer.
I not
Drugs.
prefer.
My not prefer.
I mean hello.
No.
Hello, Spartan. Okay. My. Huh?
So you already referenced yourself. So you reference I, and you reference your dislike of it, which is not. So I not prefer. So what do you think might be missing there?
I'm not preferring. Not
Not what?
Think about how you like. I don't think it's conjugate in English, but we're gonna say it's like conjugating. What do you normally add with not? Sort of like an action, sort of.
I'm not to prefer.
No. It's almost like an action. So what's the action of like not preferring something? Or
Showing
referring to yourself, like I specifically blank not prefer.
showing the dislike face.
I blank not prefer.
I am not prefer.
No. What do you mean you're not preferring? You're not prefer.
I am not prefer.
I am not prefer. You just like said like your name is I'm not prefer. So think about like the words that you would use that say like I can say, oh Kaz, would you like to eat this spaghetti? What do you say? Do you say I not prefer? Would you
No,
like
thank
this
you.
spaghetti? What's another way of saying it? Would you like the spaghetti?
No, thanks.
Do you like spaghetti?
No, I don't.
Oh, what was that word you just used?
I do not prefer.
So there you go.
Oh.
Push, 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 push.
Oh, I do
Okay,
not prefer.
so what is okay? So is there any type of weather you really don't like?
I do not prefer the typical extreme weather, such as very high temperature with high humidity during summer.
Good job. Okay, so what is the climate like in your country?
Sorry again?
What is the climate like in your country?
The climate here, the climate in Japan. Okay. Oh. Very hot during summer, very mild cold during winter. Raining season is the beginning of July, June to end July.
Yeah. Does your weather affect people's lives in your country?
Yes, people must buy air condition for preparing summer. Just for summer.
Good. Okay. Do people change in the summer?
Some people yes, some people no. The businessman wearing still a suit, very hot suits. But children, they can wear anything they like.
Okay. So this change
uniform.
could mean, do they change clothes or do they change as a person? It could mean either or. So when it says do people change?
Do people change?
In summer, it could mean do they change clothes or do they change as a person? Like their behavior.
People attempt to buy ice cream during summer.
For example, some people in winter have less energy than during the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that might be what this is sort of asking. You might say, oh, in the summer in Japan, the women and the men wear a lot lighter clothes, and they seem to be happier to be out in the sun having fun.
During summer, lots of festival compared to other seasons.
Okay. You might want to talk about their emotions. Does it make them happy, sad?
Many people
So
struggle
I would reference
with the heat
um
with the high temperature. However, those celebrity festivals make people happier.
okay. So like I said though, try to include the two things. So one, they change the type of clothes they wear, and two, they how does it affect their emotions? Because this question could be either or, so it's better just to answer with both.
Sure.
Let me ask you again. Do people change in the summer?
Yes, especially in summer, we have a lot of festival during this season in Japan. People very enjoy in this festivals.
That's not correct grammar at the end. People very enjoy.
People very excited about this
People
festival.
are very excited.
People are.
People very enjoy the summer festivals.
By the way, I thought it.
So what the fuck? What does this have to do with the question?
People people are very excited about this festival.
Good. Remember, I said you want to talk a little bit about their clothes and all that too.
Rectangular.
Oh, come on. Japan has some of the best fashion in the entire world. You got kimonos, you got different types of kimonos that are specially for the summer. You have summer clothes, festival clothes.
Okay. Um, so they start.
Women possibly wear
So
skirts in the
they.
summer.
So they are. So in Japan, people start preparing a traditional clothes during summer.
How's it make them feel?
They feel ready for the festivals.
Well, I mean, like emotionally.
Emotionally great.
Okay, so I'll ask you again. So, do people change in the summer?
People will start wearing a traditional uniform to prepare festivals during summer.
For the festivals during summer.
And they are so excited about it.
Okay. Fair enough. Should we keep going?
Keep going?
Okay.
Or I have to still explain about this?
No, you're good. Okay, so does bad weather ever affect transportation in your country?
Yes. Some weather, for example, storms, typhoon, those things will affect train transport and airplanes.
I didn't fully understand that. Try again.
So some weather, for example, typhoon or heavy rain, will affect train transportation and planes.
Okay, that's good. All right. So, do you have a job right now?
I am a student studying mechanical engineering at the university. So currently I'm
And
not
you
working.
forgot. And so I am a student.
I am a student. I am a student.
I am a student.
I am a student.
Yeah.
I'm a student studying mechanical engineering. So currently I'm not working. I used to work engineering field as apprentice.
Good. Do you enjoy your job?
During apprentice term, I'm very excited about it. I was very
Good
excited.
enough.
I very enjoyed.
That's good. What responsibilities do you have at work?
Pardon?
What responsibilities
Oh,
do you
responsibilities.
have at work?
Um, all kinds of responsibilities. I have to carefully organize it, such as I have to report immediately if something going wrong.
Something is going wrong.
Something is going wrong.
Yes.
So I have to report to my leader if something is going wrong.
Yes. Good. What is your typical day like at work?
Nothing special, just follow to the order and the manuals and listen carefully to your managers what manager asked you to what to do.
Try that again. You kind of stumbled around.
Nothing special, just focus to your main work and what your manager asked to you to what to do.
Perfect. That was way better. Good job. What is your typical day like at work?
Nothing special, just focus to my own work and listening carefully to your manager what he or she asked to you what to do.
I don't work there. You work there. Let's try again. What is your typical day like at work?
Nothing special, just following my tasks and listen carefully to your to my manager what they asked to me to do.
Good job. So, what would you change about your job?
Oh, you mean changed me or after
What
working?
would you change about
What
your job?
what would you? Sorry, say again.
What would you change about your job?
What would I change about my job?
Yes.
What do you mean? Am I going to
I'm
change
I'm
my
try,
job?
I'm not gonna try explaining it. So I want you to sort of think it through. So
You
if I
mean
explain it to you, I don't want to answer the answer. So
you
try
you
thinking it through.
you mean I have to change? I mean there's a
Okay,
problem,
hold
so
on.
I
Think
want to
about it.
change during the work or
Which
like
one do you think I'm asking?
like more complaining and there's something that I dislike about my work, so I want to change it.
That's correct.
Is that it? Then
Yeah.
I no, there's no problem about this job, so there's nothing I want to change it.
Okay, good. So remember, so you know what's being asked. When I ask about your job, and I say like about your job, so that basically means like your workplace, like what your work involves that you have to do. So I'm asking about specifically you're not. No, I'm not saying uh, would you change your job. I'm saying like about your job currently. So currently about your job, would you change your job? Does that make sense?
Got you.
Okay. What job do you think you will be doing in 5 years?
I think I would stick to the same job. I have no any plans to move another place.
I have not any plans.
I don't have any plans to move another workplace at the moment.
What skills and qualifications are you required for this job?
So first of all, you need safety care. Then you need certificate from your university. Then you need your historic paper.
Okay, good. Have you ever worked before?
Pardon?
Have you ever worked before?
Have I ever worked before?
Yes.
Yes. My first job was working in tomato field, picking each to pick every ripe tomatoes.
Good. What was your first day at work like?
I was not used to work because my first time, and it was tough sitting all picking all tomatoes. No, sorry, let me try again. First time was not easy. It wasn't easy. The job itself was simple, just picking the tomato. However, you have to pick tomato for more than 10 hours, so it was tough.
Okay. What responsibilities do you have at work?
The most important thing you have to know is the safety. You have to care about yourself, so make sure you will not get injured, injured from picking tomatoes.
Any injured from?
Any threatened from picking tomatoes.
So injured would mean past tense.
Injure, then injure. Any
Injury.
Injury. Any injury
Yeah.
from picking tomatoes.
Okay. Could also be injured though. Thinking on that. Well, I don't know. It's like how you worded it. So like I don't want to get injured while picking tomatoes would be better. Or you have to be careful not to be injured while picking tomatoes.
Because while picking tomato, we're using sharp knives, so even wearing hard gloves, there's chance to you get wounds from the knives. So
You could say injured in this case because you're talking about like past tense now.
yes,
You're good. Yeah, I'm not sure why it sounded strange at first.
injury.
Something about the grammar, but I'm not certain
I
on
think you said injury because I mentioned the just simple information, not talking about the past tense, not from
That
my
might be why.
experience. Just
Yeah.
just information about make sure please care about yourself from injuries from picking tomatoes. So
Yeah,
I
you were
think
sort of
right.
talking present tense, I think.
Makes sense.
Yeah. All right. What responsibilities do you have at work?
All kinds of responsibility I have to organize myself, such as safety. Um, for example, safeties. Well, safety is the most important thing I have to care about. I have to care.
What was your typical day like at work?
Nothing special. Keep focusing at my task and listen carefully to my manager.
Have you taken any volunteer works?
Yes, it was a school event in Japan. We have to pick garbage from the street.
Okay. Why did you do the volunteer work?
Because it was not my wish. My school teacher asked to do so.
Do you know any volunteers?
Yes, for example, NHS. NHS is not volunteer. Sorry. NPO. NPO is organization group of volunteer people.
Okay. That's fair, but I think this question is specifically asking, do you know any people who are volunteers, even though it doesn't say that specifically.
It isn't the NPO, the National.
Well, it's fine because you said it's a group, but I am saying that this question's possibly asking, like, oh yeah, my other schoolmates were volunteering as well.
Yes, one of my schoolmates yesterday helped elderly woman voluntarily.
Well, I know it didn't happen yesterday because you already told me it happened quite some time ago.
Oh. Long time ago, my schoolmates gave
It'd be
a
simpler just to
hand to
say that
elderly.
your other schoolmates were also volunteering where you were volunteering at, right? Like there's other schoolmates there.
Mm,
You said you had to do it for your school, right?
then one of my friend in Japan, he helped elderly woman. The woman was blind, so he kindly gave his hand and gave the destination which elderly woman want to go.
Try fixing that. That's kind of you're stumbling.
A long time ago, my friend helped an elderly woman who blind.
Do what?
Looking
Why did she need
for.
help?
According to my friend, elderly woman dropped something and he helped searching for it.
I'm not sure that counts as a volunteer. So volunteers for like someone who volunteers at like a food market or volunteers for cleaning. That's more like your friend just helping an old woman.
How about this? So
So volunteer is unpaid work to help people basically.
we cleaned. No. My friend cleaned seashore, which seashore covered full of garbage.
Okay. It's good enough. You don't initially have to explain it any more than that. Do you how do you define volunteer work?
There's no any advertisement about or practice that people can participate to volunteer group. So we did it
I
by
said define. How do you define volunteer work?
by internet.
You sure? Do you know what define means?
To find.
Yeah, define.
Okay. Maybe perhaps vulnerable people asking for help.
No. If you don't know what it means, you should just ask me. Some of those um, students who took that test, they just asked the instructor if they didn't know what the word meant.
Eh? I don't get it.
If you don't know what the word define means, you should just ask me. 'Cause the
Define.
videos you showed me, they had, if they didn't know the word, they would just ask.
Oh, what does define means?
Okay, so define means how do you describe it? So I'm basically saying, how do you describe what volunteer work is?
Define?
Like what is the meaning of volunteer work?
定義する。あ、define. Oh, define. I should have known this.
Define.
Define. Okay. So what volunteer means? You mean? Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
So I'm basically saying, how would you describe what volunteer work means?
To help somebody without any reward.
Good. All right. So kind of ask some of these. So, we'll do this anyways. So, can you tell me about your hometown?
Okay. There's a big castle center of my hometown. You will be amazed once you saw that castle.
You mean see it, not saw? Once I see it,
If you seeing it,
if once you see it, you'll be amazed.
once you see the castle, you may amaze. You may astonish.
You would be amazed. You would be astonished.
You would be astonished.
Yeah.
Is past
Astonish.
tense?
Huh?
Past tense of astonish?
Sorry, what were you asking?
I mean, if you see the castle, you would be astonished or astonish.
That's good. Yeah.
Ed? You don't need ed or?
You said astonished.
Huh? Okay. You would be astonished.
Yeah, that's ed. Astonished.